Hello, this is the new podcast. Used podcast. Hello, this is the used podcast.
Hi, guys.
Yeah, I like that right there. I like to let that beat build. But
You just
all
don't know
right,
what to
y'all.
say when
This
it's
is the
building.
one.
That's all.
No. I got it. This is what we've been waiting on, man. I told y'all we had some special things happening in the next few weeks. We just dropped the episode with my college roommate last week. Today we got somebody special. We got a Black Twitter original. We got a man that's got more jobs than everybody on here combined. We got a man that I look at him like a internet historian at this point. I mean, the boy has been at the blog. He's been a front face for the blog era. He took Black wrestling talk to the next level. He's with the Ringer, for damn sake. I mean, the only other person I know at the Ringer with more leverage than him is Van Lathan. So I just gotta say, man, we got a Henny Palooza, Duce Palooza original. We got a man that Wale Mania, like front and center. It could have been Kaz Mania at this point, Kazmanian Devil. I don't know, but we got my man Kazim Famuide in here, Staten Island's own. What's going on, Kaz?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you so much for that intro. It never gets old. I appreciate the kind words, man. And I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for joining us.
Of course.
Man, we appreciate your time. I know normally when you be guests, they want you to give like your whole backstory and everything, but I feel like most of our audience knows who you are because we originate from Twitter. So we're not even gonna get into the how did you get started, all that type of thing. The first thing I gotta start with, and the fellas don't even know this, but I had DM'd you and I was like, hey, I know they on your ass right now, but you gonna be able to do the pod. And I just want to jump into it right away. The African versus Black thing. Like, I mean, you're Nigerian descent, but you're raised in America. So just tell me, how does that make you feel when you
I was born in America too.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You were here. You are American, but you have Nigerian descent. That's the way I look at it.
For sure.
What we all would have if we knew what we were. But you know, they were jumping on you, telling you to go back to Africa, bro. Like, tell me, how does that make tell me how that makes you feel when people get in an uproar, and how do you choose who to go back and forth with?
I love it, man. That's what it's for, to be honest. Like, my thing is on social media, as long as it's never like, I always try to give anything that I critique or talk about like it's proper reverence or respect. So if I can go back and forth with you, it's always about a specific thing. Like, if we disagree, that's fine. If we have something that, we may not be on the same page with, that's fine. As long as it's about the specific thing, you know what I mean? Like, if I say if I'm shitting on something, I'm not shitting on the person. Like, it's probably just shitting on like the specific situation or the specific song or the specific topic. I make sure I'm always very specific about that, so I have no problems going back and forth with people. So a few weeks ago, I want to say it was the beginning of July. It had to be right around July 4th. It was July 4th.
Yeah.
Because that's when the video came out. I said, man, like, the Not Like Us shit is it's a great song, but is teetering on the brink of becoming corny.
Agreed.
Because of how it's about to get co-opted about all this other shit. My co-host Low Key, who is on Apple Music Radio, he does obviously big I guess figure in the music space for a long time, and obviously person who has sided on the Kendrick side disagreed. Said, man, you have no idea what you're talking about. The video didn't even drop yet. When the video drops, it's going to be another month of weeks and stuff. And then when it's October, it's going to be more weeks and stuff. And drops. It's going to go on until the Grammys, when they get their Grammy award. I'm like, you think people are going to be bumping this shit until February, dog? I'm almost sick of it now. Like, it's not even like, mind you, I'm a big ass Kendrick fan. Mm-hmm. Like, anybody who listens to the show, anybody who listens to the episodes prior will tell you that, I'd like to believe we covered that beef with you know, just judgment free, you know what I mean? And just base it off the songs. Like I don't think there was any real favoritism, not on my side, anyway. So when I said that, like it had nothing to do with Kendrick, it had nothing to do with, you know what I mean, any of that stuff. I just felt like, yo, this man has only got to perform the song one time. And there's no reason why I should be seeing Simba perform the song like it's his, right? There's no reason. Obviously, before Kamala Harris announced that she was running for president, I'm like, there's no reason why she should be saying like, yeah, you got to get out the vote. They're not like us, and like, I'm like, this is a very similar. This is a very familiar path that a song of this sort of popularity is going towards, and it's obviously going to be a little bit accelerated because I think we all had a little bit of Drake fatigue for a while, right? Like I think we was all kind of like ready to kind of move on and see something different from him. So when this song came at the perfect time, people wasn't trying to hear that shit. So they was all over me.
Oh, yeah.
It went from you're anti-Kendrick to you're anti-West Coast to like you're anti-American for not being with this song. And I'm just like, you niggas have lost your ever loving minds because I have yet to be proven wrong. Like the fact that that video came out, the day the music video came out, let me know that they're thinking the same thing I'm thinking. Like we got to strike with an iron top because it's starting to get corny. It's starting to feel a type of way. So people's like, oh, you must feel stupid that the video dropped the same way you dropped this. I'm like, no, I actually feel kind of what's the word I'm looking for?
Vindicated?
I feel vindicated, actually. You know what I mean? Like, this is exactly what I was talking about. So for days on end, it was just nonstop back and forth. And I guess people saw my Nigerian flag in my bio, and immediately, like for like a long time, people just like, oh, he's a Nigerian. What do you expect? I'm like, what does that mean? What
does that have to do with it?
Like, what that got to do with a song preference? Like, what does, you know what I mean? So it just took on a life of its own. It still takes on a life of its own to this day. Literally, anytime some corny shit with Not Like Us happens, like somebody at me and it, like, oh, Kaz might have been right. Kaz had a point. And, you know, my brother, low key, he was like, yo, the song's going to bump to at least October. I'm like, dog, it's not even August, and I'm tired of this song.
Steph Curry was tired of it too, man. Steph Curry was tired of it too.
He was. I know I'm not alone. And let me tell you something. I know I'm not alone, and I will never compromise these people's trust. If you knew the amount of high-profile, high-level people that was in my DMs saying, yo, thank you for saying this.
We agree.
Wanting to say this. We agree. But obviously, their connections, like they can't. You couldn't say it. So I was like, listen, if I got to be the first person, if I got to be the face to be the first one to stand up and be like, all right, the song is sort of running its course, Kendrick. You can't hit us a week of heat with like 4 different songs, and then you hit the last song and just like stay on that joint. Like you kind of whet our appetite, and now I was like, all right, what's the rest of it? I want some more new Kendrick. Like that was a great week in hip hop. We was dropping songs every day.
We don't have
to
go
back to that.
We don't have to like go too deep on this, but I feel like the people saying, "Oh, he hasn't said anything. How is it cloud chasing?" Yeah, there's people in his inner circles who are kind of speaking for him. Like, if he didn't agree with what they're saying, wouldn't he kind of like,
maybe? But but that's my thing, and that's the thing that I've always wanted to like be clear on too. It's like, yo, it has nothing to do with Kendrick. The dude performed the song one time, put out a video, wasn't really on social media like that, wasn't trolling. Like, it has nothing to do with Kendrick. It was just being very clear that this song is going to get co-opted to mean some shit that you don't want it to mean. And I got first-hand view of being like, yo, they say you're not like us. We're talking about foundational, born Black America. So I'm like, oh, damn. So I got to have slave blood to be to enjoy a song. I'm like, damn, I didn't even know it was that deep.
Somebody
I was like, y'all got it.
Somebody said that it's going to be the Juneteenth anthem for the rest of our lives.
Golly. And you know what? Like, granted, given what Drake said about him leading into this beef, it's fitting and it's funny because it's like, all right, he does put out songs that kind of feel a little bit Black Power-ish and shit like that, which he should. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I think it's great. I think All Right was a song similar in nature, where it was like, yo, these are anthems for our people.
I mean,
but man, well, what are you gonna say?
They're on Kids Bop 105. That shit works. Like that shit works, no?
I've been telling you. What I knew when the song had gotten to my daughter. My daughter is 2.5 years old, and when she was walking around the house going do 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 do, I'm like, yeah. If my daughter can pick up on this song, that means it's getting played a lot. Yeah. Right? So
True.
It is what it is.
Scoli,
I wasn't wrong. I stood by it.
Why was you making that face, Scoli?
Yeah.
No. It's spot on. I think it's for everybody to pick up easy. And when you play it a lot in the concert, the show was good, right? But what they do it 6 times straight, they probably could have clicked to that.
Though I don't even mind that. Listen, you sold out the forum. It's your victory lap. It's on Amazon. Get your streams up, yo. You could have did the song 20 times, and I would have had no problem with it. But just know, like I said, and I said that in the weeks leading up to it, I'm like, yo, that's gonna be the peak. I'm like, after that, like it's gonna feel different after that.
Yeah.
And it did. Like once Kendrick came out, did the song, had all of California on stage with them, doing all that shit. Like it was the cultural peak of that song, in my opinion. It's like, yo, the Q rating on that record was flawless at that very point when all the niggas was on stage, crip walking, blood walking, doing all that shit, and it was beautiful to watch. But like I said, I'm like, yo, it's only going to like start to go down at least a little bit. You know what I mean?
It's been we coming up on 3 months next week. So I mean the song has lived its life. Like, it's a hit. It's got a easy hook. A hit record. It's got a great tune, a great bop to it. So it's gonna do that. My only problem with the song has been the message in the song. I just feel it's crazy to be putting that on somebody's jacket. Everything else is fine.
That is kind of crazy. Yeah, I mean,
that's just kind of crazy.
I'm a fan of both parties, right?
Me too.
Agreed.
Me too.
Parties.
But I favor one
People
more.
Are like, yo, man, like you can't be mad at how a dude moves off of that. We just spent 3 months calling him a pedophile. Like, you better have some hard proof.
Yeah.
If these are the allegations you're gonna throw out. So it's like anytime something has happened, like it's one of those beefs that I feel like is gonna happen, like it's gonna be forever now.
Oh yeah.
Because it's like, why do you it's not like just a regular, like if it was any other circumstance, I'm like, yeah, man, for the love of hip hop, it'd be great if these two got together on a song. I'm like, I don't think that's happening, bro.
Is that for the love of hip hop shit real? Like, do people really care about the grand scheme of hip hop?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think a lot of people say it because it's a nice thing to say. But I think you can tell what people really value by, their behaviors. And if people really cared about, the health of what hip hop was supposed to be or should be in 2024, like we wouldn't have certain things that are wildly popular right now, right?
Yeah.
Now, granted, a lot of the people that don't value the culture are probably outnumber the fuck out of the people who like live and die and breathe and eat and sleep by it, right?
Yeah.
So for some folks that are, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? For some folks that are just visitors or tourists just coming in to check out, see what's, what's fun, dance and go back. That those numbers of people outweigh the diehards. And that goes with anything, right? But I definitely believe those folks that like state, certain things for the love of hip hop, or whether they're journalists, whether they're cultural, commenters or podcast hosts or anything like that, like they forget to fill in the blank. It's like they say they want stuff for the love of hip hop, and the blank is as long as it benefits me in the long run, right? And a lot of times, if that's how people felt, I feel like a lot of publications wouldn't have gone under. A lot of gatekeeping cultural spaces that help like lift the caliber of artists that are out there would still be alive. Yeah, I think when people say for the love of hip hop, they really mean for the love of profiting off of hip hop. And if it's not profitable anymore, you know what I mean? It's really, well, you know,
America, capitalism.
Shrug the shoulders.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Like we lost its soul a long fucking time ago, man. And
I mean,
it's
once Woodstock '99 happened, bro. After that,
it was all downhill. It was all downhill, man.
but
Once
one
Michael
thing-
Jackson died and Spotify launched, it was just
Hey,
all, it was all
I
downhill.
cried so hard when Michael Jackson died, yo.
That
was a really
that
rough
was-
day for me. I was in the church and I was a mime. You know what I'm saying? I was. And that- Bro, I'm not gonna lie, that was a rough day.
I ain't gonna lie, that was a rough night, bro.
Oh,
That was
wow.
a rough day.
Wow.
That was like the first time, like, I remember the internet just not working
Mm-hmm.
for a couple of hours. I was like, yo, I couldn't even make a phone call. Like, that's
We-
how niggas have no idea the level.
I was
of
at
star
Bible
Michael
study
Jackson.
with my grandma. They stopped Bible study and put the TV on. Like,
Oh, I went home to go see my mom, and my mom fell into my arms, like in tears. When Michael Jackson passed away, though, like Mike was a part of our family.
Yeah.
man, that's
Mm-hmm.
that is
But yeah. In any case, yeah, I don't think people mean it when they say, you know, for the love of hip hop. Some people do. I won't say everybody, but I'll say some of the louder voices don't really mean it. I don't think.
Oh man, that's crazy. Because when we talk about the hip hop thing, since we're on here, there was a list that came out, and you know, it stirred up a lot of controversy. I know one of your guys is going back and forth with another guy you're cool with, and with Charlemagne and Eliott. And to me, it just looks so silly because they arguing about nothing. But Eliott is like in this I just discovered how Twitter works mode, in my opinion. And so like he is reposting everything, good, bad, or indifferent. And then
yeah.
And then Charlamagne's just using Brilliant just to shit on him a little bit. And then like when I listened to Charlemagne, he was like, well, me and him were never close. So it's not about anything personal. And then but when you see people like start to teeter more towards the personal side, because Charlemagne, who's my guy, like I met him a few times, he's my guy. He read the text messages. Like, do you think that's the right way to handle those things, or should you just keep the jokes to jokes?
This is tough to talk about because it's like, no, I don't. Like, I know these niggas personally, you know. So I talk to them both on a fairly regular basis. Not as much Eliott, but definitely talk to Charlemagne on a more regular basis than Eliott. But Elliott's always been good to me, always been cool to me. Charlemagne's done countless things for me over the years. So I got mad love and respect for both of them, and those are two people whose careers I greatly admire. You know, growing up, I mean, people I looked up to, and you know, as far as you know, not modeling my career after it, but definitely there's always going to be that level of respect for both of them. That being said, you know, I definitely think this is a waste of everybody's time, to be honest, right? Like, I love Charlemagne. I got love for Eliott. If I'm being completely honest, there's definitely some ways that Eliott has, you know, carried himself that I can't really co-sign with, you know what I mean? Like, it's definitely something that I definitely wouldn't, I don't think I would have, let me rephrase that. Eliott has always been a person who is a controversial figure in hip-hop journalism. He's always been somebody who would stir the shit. Whether you read his editorials, whether you followed him on his interviews, like he's always had this sort of persona about him, right? Like there's Eliott Wilson and there's YN. YN is the dude that we all see on socials when you're like, yo, why are you acting like this? Why is somebody of your age that's that accomplished in their life, you know, doing this? But people got to understand that's how he's always been. He's always been controversial. The first time I even knew about him was when he was shitting on the Source after being in Double XL, you know what I mean? And running that magazine. And so when he does shit like this, it doesn't necessarily surprise me. That's kind of been the way he's moved for a long, long time. Charlemagne, on the other hand, it's like this, to my knowledge, all sort of stemmed from not believing Eliott was top 5 worthy in media, I guess.
Yeah, that was where it started.
And you know, I understand Charlemagne's reasonings for saying that. There's definitely people on that list that I believe, you know, contribute on a daily basis to with a legitimate platform that doesn't, in a way that doesn't bastardize the culture or just make it seem like it's all about me, me, me. You know what I mean? That weren't even mentioned on that 25 list. So it's like guys that I'm like Rob Markman's a dude I'm hella cool with.
Exactly.
Absolutely should have been there. Brian Miller, B. Dot, obviously. We talked about Eliott. How do you have Eliott there and B. Dot's not? He's on y'all platform. Like, he does a show for y'all, Complex. Like, Speedy's not there. You know what I mean? Brandon Jinx Jennings. Like, these are all people that are legitimate. Like, they talk about something on hip hop. I'm all ears, right? Like, and they weren't there. And they have legitimate platforms. And it's not even just about hip hop. Like, they've expanded into doing several things that would make you be proud to be like, these guys came from covering hip hop media. And if you're gonna go and no shots against Complex, they got great folks that work over there, but you know, you can't complain about the state of hip hop media and then look and see what you project or
champion,
what you curate and champion in those sort of lists and stuff like that. So I'll say I understand where Charlemagne was coming from, and I think the personal issues between those two, which is between those two grown-ass men and have nothing to do with me or anybody else for that matter, definitely adds a little bit to what's been said back and forth between them. Me personally, I come from a pro wrestling mind, so I just always think of everything in that lens. And when I see Eliott, who was very vocal about where he felt his place was in hip hop media for the past year and change, and then now has sort of like put that into overdrive, I'm like, oh, okay, like here's the heel turn. Here's the, you know what I mean? He's going for the put, like he's doing something like I know, like he takes cues. Like everybody takes certain cues from how professional wrestling works to get heel heat and stuff like that. Like it's simple, but it works. And we're all seeing it happen right now. And the fact that Eliott was even top 5 without a platform, I don't think was a detriment to him. It speaks to the fact that he knows exactly how to get people talking about him, which he's always done. So I don't necessarily think this is like a new thing or whatever. And people are looking at him like, oh man, like, but I mean, if you got something to say about like how, you know, his age and like whatever, I guess that's your prerogative. But this is how he's always been. Like he's always been like this. Charlemagne has always been like this. Like they will always let you know how to. Like Charlemagne loves the confrontation. Like I know he wanted. He invited him to Brilliant Idiots and invited him to Flagrant and invited him to the Breakfast Club and all this type of stuff because we know it'll make for good. Like we're talking about it right now. Yeah. They still haven't even had the one-on-one. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
Charlemagne seems like a good mental jouster. For sure.
Yeah, Charlemagne's one of the smartest dudes I've ever met. Like he's a dude who's just Eliott too, obviously, but I just have more of a personal relationship with Charlemagne. But you know, he's just somebody who's a brilliant cat, and where people have things to say about him that are negative or not negative, there's a reason that he's gotten to the place where he's at. And it's, you know, idiots don't get there. You know what I'm saying? So, and I know personally what he's done. A brilliant one. And I know personally what he's done. I know what he's done behind the scenes. I know what he's done for people. I know what he's done to get people on, and especially folks that look like us. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I can't tell you, there's probably less than the fingers on my hand, you know what I mean, how many people who have done that much for other people in this industry. You know what I mean? So when people come for him, I'm just like, all right, I'm not getting involved in that, because you obviously have no idea like what he does and what he means to folks that are trying to make a name for themselves, break into the industry, figure out their voice. You know what I mean? Put money in people's pockets. Like I've seen him done it. I've done it with them. Yep. can never say nothing bad about that
So while we're there, see smooth transitions. Kaz is great.
guy.
One of the things where we kind of saw you earlier on was, with Uncommon Sense, before you got into the podcast world and those things. Where were you first introduced to Charlemagne? Who kind of put you guys together? And like, how has that relationship continued to flourish even to today?
I've known Charlemagne since I was a writer at the Source magazine, and his first year, I think, doing the Breakfast Club in New York City. I did a couple of interviews with him. We did something called the Radio Power 30 in the Source magazine, and we had them number one. And
I remember
that was
that.
the first time I got to. Yeah, so that was the first time I really got to kick it with Yee. I knew Yee for a while. I knew Yee before Charlemagne, but met Charlemagne through there. Met Envy. Obviously, when I was at the Source, I did a couple of episodes. I was on the episode of the Breakfast Club. I did Breakfast Club when I was at Stashed. Anytime I had ever had anything to promote, Charlemagne would always open the doors to the Breakfast Club to put me on, especially when I was like heavy in my hip hop media space. So he's just always been a helpful hand in just careers and life. He's always been good to me, so I can never say anything bad about the guy. And we got over a decade in, just as far as like more of the acquaintances. Like, dude, he bought my daughter's bookshelf upstairs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So it's like he's a hell of a dude, and people can say what they want about him, but a lot of people. Not everybody's put on this earth to be liked by everybody, and I can always judge you by my interactions with you personally.
Absolutely.
So he's always been a good dude to me.
Yeah. And then the last thing from me before my guy takes over, you kind of, because you've been around so long in the different avenues you touch in, when you see things like the Charlemagne Eliott, now you see Rosenberg comment on it. I know you and Rosenberg are kind of close. Then you see those different type of things. And then, of course, I've been to Duce Palooza when you guys were here in 2017. And, well, it was still Henny at that point. But 2017, so I know you and Rory are real tight. And then you see what happened with Rory and his old podcast mates and all of that. And I know you've had interactions with them. So when it's people that you kind of know, but it's more people that you're more tight with, how do you keep it where you're able to stay neutral, but not have either side feel a certain way towards you? Because when we see other people in their relationships, they always end up having to pick a side. But it seems like you're always able to stay kind of neutral with everybody and still go on each person's platform and still keep it moving as normal.
I'd say, you mentioned Rosenberg and Rory, and even, I still run into Joe at the mall near my house. You know what I mean? Like, I've always, these are people I have like legitimate relationships with. It's not just like career stuff. You know what I mean? And, I was at Rosenberg's wedding. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, Rory is one of the first dudes to hold my child. Like, these are people I build like legitimate like relationships with. So, on one end, like, they'll always know how I feel about something once it's going down, but I know and they know the power of ever putting anything publicly, because once it becomes part of the peanut gallery, once it becomes part of the Twitter discussion boards and all that type of stuff, there's a whole new layer added to it, right? So those are friends of mine. And Rosenberg, who I got so much love for, and I talk to probably just as much as I talk to Charlemagne, and knowing that they don't get along, Rosenberg knows, because he has respect for me, never to like shit on Charlemagne in front of me, because he knows I'm like, all right, I ain't gonna do that. You know what I mean? And I always feel like that's just a rule of thumb in just anything, right? Like, if you're a solid individual and I'm not cool with somebody, you're not going to shit on them in front of me just because we're cool. You know what I mean? Like, I'll always check someone. I'll always be on some like, all right, don't say that and not say it to their face. Like, or, like, you got to be cool. Like, I got a lot of, it's funny you mention this. Like, I got a lot of like wrestling friends who are like, Let's just say the wrestling industry is a lot more competitive than it looks like on TV, and it's very competitive on TV, right? So like they'll be somebody shitting on someone, and even though they know we cool, they know I'm still gonna be like, all right, you got to be easy. That's my man. It's like, you got to be like, is there I'm always trying to build the peace too. I'm always like, yeah, everything there's a way y'all two could ever just, what I mean, sit down. Like, I know you a good dude. He's a good dude. Like, depending on like what the circumstances are, I also know when it's just like, yeah, these two, they just don't fuck with each other.
I was gonna ask.
We just leave it at that.
Yeah.
So,
and some people just not gonna mix.
Yeah, man, and that's fine. I also like my peace too, so I know when to take myself out the situation. Just be like, listen, if y'all gonna do that, like, I have no problem just being like, y'all got it.
Definitely
I prioritize my peace over every fucking thing. So.
Like, do you ever get tired of playing Peacemaker?
I mean, I don't have to. Like, once I get tired of it, I'm just like, first off, like, it's none of my. I don't give that much of a shit, right? Like, to be honest, like, I don't give that much of a shit. Like, I'll tell somebody, like, man, like, I can't believe you even gave this much attention, or like whatever. Like, anything that doesn't involve like my family, my little girls, and like my immediate like circumstances, I tend to let go of. If I'm directly in the middle of something, I'll say my piece. But they're all grown men at the end of the day. They're all grown women at the end of the day. And it kind of is what it is. And I think they'd respect me enough to also know that, like, all right, like, of course, there's going to be certain folks. There's specific relationships, though, that I hold very dear. And there's certain folks that have tried to shit on them that I've been like, all right, well, it's fuck this guy forever. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, those are rare. There's only a handful of people in my life where it's just like it's The Departed, where it's like I can't tell you where you're going, I can't tell you what we're about to do, but we're gonna hurt a lot of people, and I mean, these are guys. And I'm saying, all right,
me about it later.
Exactly. Like those relationships are few and far between. So, and then the other situation is just like, all right, man, I'll just remove myself.
That's fair. That's fair. I think we did enough of the messy Lovelace, right? right. We could I like to get a little more personal. This is my bag. I like to ask you about your family, get a little more personal. If I ask anything that's too invasive or you don't want to answer, bro, just look at me and say, bro, you tripping. All right.
For sure.
So I know from the knowledge that I have about you that you have 2 daughters.
Yes.
You don't have to specify the ages, but if you could you give me like 1 to 6, 6 to 10? Are they both in the same range?
They're both in the same range. They're both under 6.
Oh, were they 2 under 2?
2 under 3.
The challenge. I understand that. Okay, so being a girl dad, and that's the cool thing to say today. I'm a boy dad, so I kind of you guys a little bit. But being a girl dad,
you don't get a cool hashtag, man.
It's not the same. Boy dad's just like, hey, get out of here.
Raise a little
go dribble or something. Like, but so what would you find like your biggest challenge as being a father or just being a girl dad?
Oh man. I would say the biggest challenge of being a father, girl dad, boy dad, whatever, is just being aware of the things you're bringing to their life that you may not even have been aware of or dealt with until you kind of see it in your kids first. And that's always a trip, right? Like, I'd say they're always going to say, like, when you become a father, you learn more about yourself than any time in your life. Because everything you're going through, you're now seeing in the lens of how your parents saw it, how you're seeing it now, how you want your kids to see you. You know what I mean? And there's all these new things and new perspectives
Mm-hmm.
that you didn't have to really live with at first.
And it's all right now.
And it's all learning on the job. And it's all like, all right, here's the ball on the 1 yard line. Lead us down the field. Don't turn the ball over. Don't fumble. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it's like. It's like, yo. But that's the beauty in it too, right? Like, that's what makes it so worthwhile. Like, you're building your family in your own likeness, and you're kind of taking what you've learned, taking what you've been through, finding out stuff about things that you've been through that you don't even know how it affected you until you see it in them or start to see it in them. And that's always a challenging thing. And it's every day. Like, you don't get a day off from it. Like, it's not. Well, I don't get a day off from it, right? Like, you know, I'm not even gonna say it, but no, like, it's
say
an everyday.
Active father, say it.
Yes, exactly. Like, I know fucking deadbeat, right? Like, I don't understand.
Active father.
You
Podcast.
cuss on here, bro. Call the deadbeat out.
Nah, it's a real thing. It's a real thing, man. So that, and you know, just making sure that every day is a step forward and not a step back. And even if it's a step back, you know why it was a step back, and at least you're learning from it. And you don't take it as an L; you just take it as a learning lesson. And there's going to be plenty of those. The older, you know, the more you're becoming a dad and becoming a you know, a husband, partner, whatever it is, and just being as active as possible. And I think the really cool thing about like the generation of dads right now is, I don't know about y'all, but like, I feel like growing up, it was very much a, you know, single parents were everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, absentee deadbeat dads were everywhere. Like, you know, and I think one thing our generation of dads are doing right now is killing that shit. Like, we're just like, yo, there's no, like, I don't know about you guys. I don't have anybody in my friend circles who is an inactive father.
Me neither.
I can't even understand. Like, I can't even like have like real conversations with somebody I can call my friend, and they don't know where their kids are right this second. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like, well, because most of the things I'm talking about today revolve around my kids and my family.
Yeah,
so we can't talk like, what is there for,
like,
you know?
It's an every minute, every day job. So like, what else is there to talk about except the new Bluey episode or what Sneakers? Like, there's always something. You know what I mean? So it's like, what? And it's a new way to bond too, right? Like, and those are the type of people you want to be around anyway. If you're doing the job right, like, you don't want to be around, you know, guys who are showing you not the right way to be a parent. Like,
that partying shit is cool, but it's over. Like,
it's over, dog. I'm so happy it's over too.
It's over. I just want to go home and play the PSP. Like, that's it.
Oh, I come home, I load up my Road to Glory, and I'm like, this is my night. All right.
Yeah.
Once the kids asleep, I fire up the PS5. I take University of Auburn to the playoffs, and we make it happen.
Hey, get a PSP. Get a PSP.
Yeah, the PSP.
I'm telling you, best thing for dads to get.
When they hog the TV up, I got mine last week. I done fired that thing up so many times the last 72 hours. Like, all right.
Telling you.
Dog, I done got my girl done built out the like my little man cave now.
Okay.
So the door's shut, you know what I mean? You got the big like 70-inch screen right then and there. Like, and it's like, once they out, and nobody bothering me. It's the best.
Okay.
I love it, man.
All right, so I'm gonna get a little more, right? And again, if it's too much, it's too much. What would you say your biggest mistake is as a father?
Oh, wow. I would say, I don't want to say, okay, it's the biggest mistake I've made as a father. I would say the biggest mistake I've made probably in my first daughter. I would say is I probably tried to rush things too much that first year.
Okay.
Like I was not appreciating those first 8 to 9 months of the transition. I was just trying to keep her alive. Like
Okay. Okay.
I was just trying not to fuck it up. Like
Okay. Yeah.
and the beautiful thing about having our second daughter so soon is all that stuff that I felt like I was rushing now I know, okay, I know what this is. I know where
Mhm.
we're going. I
Mhm.
know, like it's like when you drove somewhere before and you don't need the GPS a second time. It's like, all right. The first time it's just like left turn, left now. Fuck.
I know that building right
Like,
Yeah.
you just try your best not to fuck this up. And I feel like I kind of, rushed through some moments just because all I thought about was like, just, it was a lot. It was a lot.
Mhm.
Were
But
you a
I
handbook dad? Like, is that where you were saying you didn't want to fuck stuff up? Were you
no.
okay?
I read some books. I Googled some shit. But my lady is the best. Like she's had a lot of experience with kids. Her her brother had kids when they were both young. So she did a lot of babysitting.
Shout out to the teen
And
babysitters.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Teen babysitters. And I'm the last born, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So like I don't even know what it's like to have another baby in the house. I was always the baby. You know what I mean? So a lot of the stuff I was learning on the like you can read as much, you can get information, but like I think by like the 7th month of parenthood, I was like, oh, everyone's just guessing.
Everyone.
There's no like real there's no real like pinpoint. Like, yeah, you go to the doctor knows like the X, Y's, and Z's of like what's supposed to happen. But like all these just motherfuckers just guessing from their own personal experience. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can figure this out, so I wasn't really a handbook dad, man. Like I had a few books that I read the first time around, and then it was decent, and I definitely picked some stuff up, but until I realized like every single child is uniquely different, like specifically, and it's not like there's nothing you are going to experience that's going to be the same exact experience as somebody else, and they can read in the book like, yes, my daughter or son did this, like it's just not going to happen. So I don't know, man. I would say that I definitely wasn't one of those guys, but I feel like it's made me a better dad though, because I was forced to lock in. Like you're
survival mode dad.
Yeah, you're in survival. You're a survival mode dad, and on top of that, I had zero. I feel like I became a dad at the right time. Like I had zero. What's the word? FOMO. Of becoming a dad. Like when I was ready to become a dad, I was over ready. I was like, like I'm not, you know what I mean? Anybody who knew me before my 30s, that's a different person you met.
Yeah.
You met my representative. Like, that's a different guy now. Like I'm not him at all.
I'm ready to have some babies. I'm tired of the sweat.
I don't even
this liquor. Put this liquor down.
Let me tell you, man. The smell of Hennessy like gives me like Vietnam flashbacks. So
that's funny.
I just see shit explode in the back. Like, oh my god! Like those, but you know what? But that's how I would tell that to any guy though. Like any guy who's about to like become a dad though. Like, yo, please live your fucking life.
Yes.
Like, do not leave any stone unturned. Like, don't feel like, oh my gosh, my life's over. Because like, if you're feeling like that, don't even do it.
Yeah.
Like, don't even fucking do it, bro. Like,
don't do it.
You really have to fucking live. Fucking live first, and then do that shit, man. Because first off, just to give you the spoiler alert, ain't nothing gonna be flyer than like raising your kids. Like nothing is doper than watching them little people turn into little versions of you, and like just fucking like there's nothing flyer that there's no bottle, there's no bitches, there's no club, there's nothing like that.
Nothing.
maybe a Knicks championship.
Okay.
Like that's
Okay.
literally it. The only thing I'd be like, hell. My
Okay.
girl even knows. Like I'm in the house all the time, but during the season, specific games, like baby, Gardens. Like go ahead. Like go.
Gotta do what you
Like it's a playoff game, baby. I gotta go. I gotta be there.
gotta do. Speaking of your lady,
Yeah.
do you guys ever have moments where you have conflicting maybe parenting styles or like diet choices or things like that where you guys want to raise your kid different or your kids different?
Everything's a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's definitely things that. Well, I would say this. I think we're both very receptive to ways that come with proven modes of success, right?
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
there's definitely shit that I fall the fuck back on when it comes to that my lady just takes the lead on. I'm just like, yeah,
Mhm.
you're right, you got that.
Mhm.
And there's definitely certain things that I take the lead on, and then
Yeah.
when those times where we conflict, we talk it out, and honestly, she probably knows what she's talking about more than I do.
You default to her.
So sometimes, like by default, I'm like, all right, baby, you got it. You know what I mean? And if we're
It was-
wrong, I get the glory of telling you were wrong for 5 seconds, and then we can try my idea. But no,
We don't have to talk about how good that is sometimes.
oh,
Not good sometimes, but we don't have to talk about that.
I
You don't
told you so.
it's
Oh,
good. A good I told you so. You can only enjoy it for about 15 seconds,
Yeah,
but it's
I
the
don't
best
even-
15 seconds of your life.
it's the best.
I've never,
If
I've
you
never
go
even
too
said
far-
it. I've
You never
even
said it.
said it. No, I
haven't
I might
lived.
go in the car and like roll the windows up and lock the door and like say it like silently to myself. I was never bold enough to tell Bree's mom like
I don't think
like,
I don't think I actually said the words, but like you could say it without saying.
Did you give that look? You gave that look now.
But the look is like, I'm
No,
just
this-
saying. I don't think the actual sentence "I told you so" ever comes out of my mouth, but like my face says it.
Might
And
have
that's all I
fucked
need.
like
That's all you
Bree is 18 and we didn't
Mm.
have the internet back when she was little and she had like baby acne. And her mom was just like, "Oh
Mhm.
yeah, just take like a wet pamper and like dab it on her baby acne and it'll clear it up." And I was like, "Excuse me?
Does that work?
You want to put pee on my kid's face?" And her mom was like, "Yeah, just do
Oh,
it."
that's crazy.
The whole ride home, I'm fuming. You better not. I'm on pamper duty for the next 10 days. Like, you better not. We got a
Expecting the
doctor's
Panthers.
appointment. Let's rely on a professional. We get to the doctor's appointment. She's just like, yeah, my mom told me to put the wet pamper on her face, and I did, but we're not seeing any changes. And my ears get fire engine red.
That makes sense.
And the doctor's just like, yeah, we have a cream for that. I wouldn't suggest putting your child's urine on her face. And I'm
Oh
just
my
the
God.
whole ride home. I just wanted to say it, and she was just like, yo, my mom don't be knowing what she's talking about.
That's crazy.
That's a fact, bro. That's a fact.
That's
But you
crazy.
gotta let them be wrong, though.
Yeah,
Gotta
no,
let
I
it
mean,
stay
even
true.
when they wrong, they right. Let's be
You
honest.
gotta, yeah, of course,
Mm.
because it'll, I mean, your girl's never really wrong.
Never.
They're
Never.
never really wrong.
Like
There's
when I
just
get
moments in which something could have worked out better,
yeah,
and maybe possibly you might have suggested it over her, but
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that they're wrong.
facts. When I get in my little macho bag, I try to say like happy dad, nobody sad. Cause like happy life type shit. But that shit don't really work. Like
It don't got the same twang to
Nah,
it.
it
Like
don't,
happy
you
life, happy
know,
life.
no, it don't hit the same. Niggas gonna look, I mean, people gonna look at you like, boy, if you don't get you together, I don't know, man. That's interesting because I always find in my relationship, like you said, I kind of just default to what she says. My wife is a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
So
So's mine.
yeah, hey, yeah. So you understand my struggle.
Exactly. I know where you're going.
It's a whole
through.
different thing. And so when we get into those type of debates, your man shit kicks in, and you like, I do. But then you like, why? Why is any of that even necessary?
Not necessary.
It's not necessary at all. Yeah, no, I like to get a little personal. I had a few questions. That's all.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, I think we passed with flying colors. Do we got any more?
Yeah.
Personal
I mean,
questions? Are you good?
maybe one more. And you really don't have to answer this one. Are
Okay.
there any traditional remedies and things that you use with your children or yourself that you like Scoli, that you like, yo, this is wild?
Traditional remedies for my. Oh my gosh, I don't know. I feel like nah, not really. I mean, I ain't got no homework. Like we Google parents, man. Like like
Yeah.
some shit's wrong. We can just
That
Google that
Google.
shit. Like we don't gotta freestyle a home remedy and be like, oh, this might work. Like
Yeah,
what?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay,
Mhm.
We just
okay.
type that shit up and it'll tell us if it's gonna work, or at least it's gonna have a chance of working. That's the
Okay.
one thing that people don't. I'm assuming your kids are older than my kids, right?
I mean, I'm in 4 and 5 range.
Okay, 4 or 5, four or
Yeah,
five.
so we're
So
right
yeah,
there.
nah, we're right there. But yeah, like we grew up on home remedies and like shit
Mm-hmm.
that like our parents just did because their parents did it. And, like, there's
Mm-hmm.
no scientific rhyme or reason behind it. Like they just did it, and they didn't have Google and none of that shit. They're just
I
like, oh
still
yeah,
make
nah, this will work.
Vicky to this day.
Vapor rub and the socks are still undefeated
I
though.
still do
Okay, well
Vicky.
that's not a home remedy. Vapor rub is vapor rub, bro.
I
Vapor
don't know
rub
if it's
work. That shit just
scientific either.
works.
Yeah,
Try to clear some shit out. Put some vapor. I might put my vapor rub in my car and clear out the damn
That is
grease
funny.
and stuff. It works. You know,
That is
so
funny.
I'm
No, that
thinking
was the
like
who
concoctions or some shit.
who
no.
gave you
Well,
the best dad advice?
oh, good question.
Man, who gave me the
Mm.
best dad advice? I get lots of good dad advice, man.
Mhm.
My good friend Spencer Pazinger, he is the executive producer,
All
and he's
American,
he's
right?
the real life Spencer James from All American. Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
And he gave me a book about called the Playbook to Parenting to Fatherhood, and he gave me specific chapters to read that really hit home about where Alpha obviously he played in the NFL, so it's a lot different.
Yeah.
But like, there's definitely some certain chapters in there about what you just said, like our macho ness, and
Yeah.
like how we can like use that
Mhm.
for good, and like that same sort of thing that you use to get you to the next level of the NFL. For me, it was basketball, but I didn't play nearly as pro level as he did.
Hey, you was
But it
nice.
was still, I was decent. I was not, I played D2, had a couple player of the weeks. You know what I mean? I was all right.
Okay.
I was like 14. I was decent,
Okay.
but still, like the athlete mindset doesn't really change you.
Yeah.
Doesn't really change. So there was definitely some stuff in there that was really appropriate. It's called the Playbook to Parenthood. If you guys
Play.
ever check it out.
Okay.
Also, man, and who else gave me some really good parenting advice? Yo, Kofi Kingston, man. So me and Kofi, our daughters were born a day apart. If you can believe it.
Oh, okay.
Our youngest daughter, yeah. So we always like check in on birthdays. It's wild. Me, him, and Mustafa Ali, who is at
Okay.
Impact right now. We all got babies like within like the same 2 days, right? So, and
That's
these are
pretty.
people that I was on the road with. These are like my dogs, and he gave me some great ass parenting advice. And this is somebody who travels a lot, who's always on the road, but always makes time for the kids. And thankfully, they're in a different era of WWE where like they don't have to be like missing important shit because they're all like, yo, if you ever miss something important in order to do work, like
Mhm.
we'll fire you. It's like not
Oh,
they'll fire
really?
you, but they'll basically
Yeah.
just like, yo, like don't miss this shit for your kids.
Okay.
Like don't miss your kids for this shit, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
if there's a recital, if there's an important date, they're like, yo, we will give you the time. And before, yeah, I guess you had to be very judicial with that type of
The
stuff.
Paul Levesque era.
Hey,
God.
can't say something wrong about my guy Paul, man. But just everybody who I've talked to, as I was becoming a dad,
Mm-hmm.
always kind of gave sort of the same sort of advice about patience,
Mm-hmm.
about just knowing that like it's a long run.
Oh
It's a
yeah.
long run. So if
Mhm.
we fuck up today, you got to have quarterback memory. It's like next play. You know what I mean? Like you just got to be patient, and because there are going to be days that feel like, and I'm noticing it now with my youngest. There were days where it felt like my oldest daughter was gonna cry every day for the next 30 years.
Mhm.
And then when it just stops one day, you're just like, oh man, that's over.
All
You know what I
right.
mean? And it happened so quick, So everything, man. Good, bad, indifferent. Shoemaker, when I was about to go in, he said the coolest. There's nothing cooler. Basically, I'm paraphrasing him, but he basically said to me, "Listen, there's nothing cooler than whatever you are planning to do that involves your kids. Like if you ever have to do something and your kids, like especially at this age,
Mhm.
have to come in front of it." He was like, "I promise you, nothing out there is cooler than being there for them when they need you." And
Three more.
it's facts, man. I've seen it. I thankfully haven't needed that message beat over my head because I feel like those girls love me and I love them, and there's nothing better than them, man.
All right. So what was the event where all y'all got pregnant at the same time? Three in a row.
Was it a
I'm
pregnancy
just
pack?
saying.
They had a pregnancy pack.
I'm just saying.
I'm trying to think about it. Yo,
They were all on the
honestly,
road at the same
Bro,
time,
that's
and
what
they
I'm
all
saying.
got a break
Bro,
and went
3 days in a
home.
row. Come on now.
I don't know, man. It might be.
The
It was a
stars, the
Think
moon, and
SummerSlam.
the
about it.
one.
All right, so January.
It was SummerSlam.
Nah. We're thinking 9 months. So funny enough, like the math adds up to all it being around like WrestleMania time, which is funny. So
There you go.
it's like it had to be like April, May-ish, right?
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
just like, oh, okay, like
There
baby's
we
around
go.
January. I'm like, I guess that checks out. Like it might
There we
It was the
go.
backlash.
I
have
like
been
that.
a time, so
It's a different type of victory lap.
hilarious. That is a wild victory. I never even noticed that until you actually said that. I was like, God damn, we must have. What day was it?
I
It must
mean,
have been a day.
all
Everyone's
y'all was
feeling
celebrating. You know,
great.
y'all must have had a good week in the business. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
To be
that's
fair,
bonus checks. They got bonus checks. That's what it is. They got bonus checks.
to be fair, I was not on the road with them when that
Okay,
happened.
fair.
But it definitely seems like it would be around the April May-ish
That's pretty cool.
time, and that is closer after WrestleMania season. So I'm just maybe.
That's pretty
We're
cool.
gonna take a little closer look at wrestling now, aren't we, guys?
I guess so.
Scully, you want to do?
Honestly.
Scully, you want to do
So,
split second?
real brief. Well, I'll be brief. You talked about, you're working with wrestling, you're working with the wrestlers. Like, if you grew up anything like we did, like that's like a young black kid's dream. Like we all love and obsessed over wrestling. Like I remember doing the Harlem Hangover off the top bunk in my auntie's house
Yeah.
and almost breaking my leg. Like I remember that vividly, and that was our everyday. All we did was wrestling. We did
Same.
Fact.
wrestling promo videos in the backyard with no camera, and we all had characters, and we all had our gimmicks, and we took
Yeah.
grandma's makeup and we made the most of it.
Yeah.
What's that like for you working in that space and kind of living out that young black boy's dream to be a
It's
part of it?
it's wild because my love of wrestling always came from my dad. My first, I don't even, do I have it here? Well, I have a poster here that I got framed. It was a gift that was given to me, and it was literally my earliest memory. And it was the first ever Survivor Series when it was
Fine.
the Mega Powers versus Akeem and Big Boss Man. I forget, but I'm a lifer, man. Like I vividly remember my first memory being sitting in my dad's lap in Far Rockaway, Queens, watching that orange Survivor Series logo, and just people looking down the barrel of the camera, just yelling at me with like bright colors and microphones. And I'm just like, huh? I had to have been less than a year old, but like I remember that image like vividly. Like I know what it smelled like in there. I know what the couches looked like, and I'm like, I had to only been 1 year old.
That's
But
fire.
people be like, oh, you can't remember that. I'm like, no. I remember this day.
Yeah.
I remember it, and I'm a lifer, man. Like you said about what you did with your brothers and stuff. Like me and my brothers, we had our own backyard wrestling in Staten Island, New York. We had like a little place that was a little play area in our complex, but it had like a fence, so it kind of looked like a steel cage if you like got little patio tables in there. And boy, when I tell you, we was throwing each other through plastic pool tables, patio tables, any piece of whatever we could find, doing swantons off the shit, elbow drops. made our little cardboard, title belts, like super fun. And wrestling to me has always been like that thing. Well, anytime I hear people talk about it, they always talk about how like wrestling was this like thing that they had to hide from people because it wasn't like the cool thing to like or whatever.
Dirty secret.
The thing that kind of helped me is that like I never hid I was a wrestling fan. Like I liked all this other shit. Like I loved hip hop. I loved, basketball. I was a big Knicks guy growing up, obviously. Played a lot of sports growing up. Like I wasn't, at least I don't think I was no loser. I hope not. Growing up, like I was getting dates and shit. Like I was, I wasn't your typical like, whatever. But like I let it be known that I was a wrestling fan. Like it wasn't like something I found hidden. Obviously, there was the moments where folks were like, "Oh, don't you know it's fake, whatever?" But like I just didn't
That's
give a
hate
shit.
though.
I was just like, all right, like even back then, I was just like, yeah, but it's fun to watch. Like, well, who cares? Like,
Yeah.
So I fast forward to not even just my stint as a writer in WWE, but like I've gotten to work with all types of wrestling organizations and specifically with the WWE over a number of years that didn't involve me just punching in the clock like I used to. I almost feel like my relationship with WWE has gotten better since I wasn't a writer on the team because I kind of came in with my own sort of background, like fresh out of working for LeBron and Uninterrupted and doing Marshawn's show for Bleacher Report and being able to just come right in and work with some talent. And thankfully, like most of the people, a good amount of the people that I went to work with, like I already was friends with. Like I already had a good relationship with the folks in the New Day. I already had a good relationship with Apollo Crews. And, I had met a lot of these wrestlers before, so I wasn't necessarily starstruck.
Yeah.
But definitely like there's definitely moments throughout the day where I was like, what the fuck is my life right now? Like
this is cool.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like my first the moment the good thing about that is, bro, like even though like I got to work with a lot of wrestlers before I got to WWE, that first production meeting like knocks all that cool shit right out of you, right? Because like first production meeting, you're in an arena, you're in an NBA arena, early in the day, you know what I mean? Like in a suit with all these people. Obviously, on one side you got the writers, you got the commentators, which at the time was Michael Cole, Renee Paquette, Corey Graves. And then on the other side, you got the producers. And the producers are like my literal childhood. It's like Arn Anderson, D. Malenko, fucking, who else? Billy Kidman.
Wow. Okay.
Triple H, Heartbreak Kid, and Vince McMahon, right? So it's like, so they all walk into the room together, like when you're waiting for them to kind of like go through the show and whatnot.
Yeah.
And the moment you're just sitting in a room with Vince and Triple H and all of these wrestlers of your youth, and you know what I mean, in this room, it's like, all right, we're here to work. And you immediately go into work mode and it's like, all right, you kind of get it going. So even as big of a fan as I was growing up and still being like, oh my God, I'm so blessed to be here and even play even just a small part in what this whole thing is. I was still there to do a job, right?
Yeah.
So it didn't really hit me until like after my run that I was like, oh man, I got to like work on Jeff Hardy's return to SmackDown. I got to like fucking, do a 5-timer segment with Booker T and the New Day, and I got them all to kneel and put a fist up, and like I got to do all this cool, fun shit with people that I grew up watching and people that have become friends of mine. So like, it didn't really hit me until after I left that I was like, oh man, this is such an incredible thing. But the good thing about that is like WWE is kind of a place where it's like you're always kind of, as long as you don't like leave like like as long as you don't like burn the place down on the way out, like
Go crazy.
there's always like a door open for you. So like through Wale Mania, through Cricket Wireless, through my numerous TV shows, my podcast with The Ringer, getting to travel to all these shows and host these things, do with Fanatics, like it's all sort of like crazy how, and even now I'm still hosting the Ultimate Show on Peacock and still getting to go there and do like documentaries and all that type of stuff. So it's like, having that time, and like I guess I got an even better relationship within the wrestling community to where it's like, oh wow, like I'm not just a guy who's just like happy to be here. Like my output is valued. You know what I mean?
I'm not just a fan.
Yeah, right. Like, and I love being a fan. Don't get me wrong. I love being a fan, but it's just like, folks that I really respect, that came up to me like after my run was like, man, like I really wish you didn't get like, leave. Like you made a significant difference here. And they still were like, yo, we can still work together. And folks that I haven't like been in a WWE creative office in a long time, but like I'm not gonna mention names, but people still hit me about like, hey, what do you think about this? How's this work? I've got to ghostwrite a few things.
There we go, ghostwrite. There we go.
There's a little bit of ghostwriting happening there.
I like that.
It's a trust that's been built over the years, and I have such a reverence and love for the industry and such a respect for it that like I'm always honored that people even like have any sort of room or space for me in any capacity when it comes to pro wrestling. So it's an honor, man, because I've loved it ever since I was a kid.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really feel like work.
I would say it definitely still feels like work. It's definitely
got you. Okay.
You know what I mean? Like this past year, I'll even say Philly, like as much as Philly was fun as hell, Wale Mania leading into WrestleMania, while you have one of the top wrestling podcasts with Spotify, and you got to be on location. Like it's a lot. It is definitely not for the faint of heart. Being on the road for creative is a lot. Like traveling every week to a new city and checking in and checking out and getting back, like it is a lot. Anybody who is on that road will tell you, like if they could do this job without traveling, they do it for 50 fucking years. But it's legitimately work. It's fun work. It's exciting work.
Okay, there we go.
It's work that you could feel enthused about. But make no mistake, it's definitely work, and you definitely did it. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be judged on how good you are anyway. You can't just be sitting there with stars in your eyes and shit. So as much as you're a fan, if you come in and contribute nothing, it's not really worth it.
Now, you had the one backstage segment with Brian, I believe it was, where you got yoked up a little bit. Like, was that planned, or was it kind of in the moment? Because I mean, you played it off, but when he was back there just causing
he didn't yoke
chaos.
Me up. he didn't yoke me up. He was looking for Roman. He was running down. Was it Roman? He was looking for a Bobby. I think he was looking for Roman.
He was looking for Roman.
He was and he was just wrecking shit everywhere he went. So he was about to throw a trash can at me, but I ran out the door before he could throw the trash can at me. So it looks crazy. But everything in there, down to the, there's nothing that involves any sort of physicality that isn't properly planned.
Okay.
Like, you may be able to freestyle a word or two. You may be able to freestyle some dialogue. But like as soon as hands are being used, or somebody's got to fall, or somebody's got to hit or something, like you are never, that's never getting freestyle. That is always to the T, like a planned thing. So even then, like if I was just, if it was just yoking up like an extra or something like that, you gotta go and call D Malenko, or go call Lauren Anderson, or call Adam Pierce at that time, or any of these producers, and like they gotta sit there, they gotta watch, they gotta go through it and tell you what's safe, what's not safe, what's good, what's not good, how it's gonna look on camera, all that type of shit. Like everything, they are a well-oiled machine at WWE, and I think they've gotten they've become even more of a well-oiled machine in the Triple H era. And I think we're all seeing it as fans, how enjoyable the product's been for the past couple of years.
No, that's dope.
Nice.
That's dope. And then the
yeah.
last thing I had on that wrestling thing is you've mentioned it a lot of times with like Paul Heyman being somewhat of a mentor for you, man. Paul Heyman is one of my favorite like promoters, ECW days. Like I'm a big wrestling nerd. So like how does that feel having someone who's now a WWE Hall of Famer be someone that was like championing you when you were having your time with WWE?
Paul still champions me to this day, and he's one of the guys who I knew before I got to WWE, and met through Wale, met through a couple of mutual friends. We had a lot in common, both New Yorkers, both had like a hustler's mindset, you know what I mean? Like he knew about me being on Flagrant, and knew about Schultz and the podcast, and knew about everything before I even got there.
Okay.
That's cool.
And Paul Heyman, the good thing about like having some things that I did before I got to WWE is that like they threw me right on the road, they threw me right into production, they threw me right into the heat of the battle. Like I was sink or swim. But the first person that really like sat me down and taught me how to like make wrestling television and time it out and do commercials and watch for crossover hours and watch for timing with the truck and all that type of stuff, how to write, was Paul Heyman. He was the first person, and he was doing a million other things also, right? Like I think he was still with Brock at the time.
Yeah.
But he still took time out to, he knew I had talent. Like he would see the stuff I would write. He see the stuff that I was helping to put on TV that got some decent reactions. He already had a liking towards me, so he kind of know that like I was just kind of out there without a parachute for a long time. So once things like calmed down for a little bit, he was the first person to kind of like sit me down during a TV taping and be like, "This is why we do this." He wouldn't just show me how things were done. He would show me why they were done and who else was relying on you to hit certain marks or to get to certain points. So you can do your job well, and everything can be done well. And anybody, when people call themselves Paul Heyman guys, or go to bat for him so much because of his willingness to share his knowledge, that's a real thing, man. Even to the day that I was leaving the company, he was one of the first persons to talk to me, and still to this day, like anytime like I have a big, when I got my Emmy, he gave me a call. When he when my daughters were born, he gave me a call. I was one of the first person that saw him after his Hall of Fame speech this year with some of the guys, and I was told him I wouldn't miss it for the world, and he's a guy that I have so much immense respect for and reverence for, because I was a fan of his also. And everyone always talks about like, don't meet people you're fans of.
Yeah.
They're only going to disappoint you. And Heyman's never disappointed me. He's always looked out for me. He's always, put me in situations to succeed. And he always said like, yo, if you ever come back here, you're going to write your own ticket, because like you're too big for this. Like you're too big for this. Not too big, but he basically said like, yo, you need to like, he's like, your ideas are too big for the way this place is constructed.
Okay.
So he was like, you got to go out there and just show people like what you're made of. And he was like, I guarantee you the next time it's going to happen, which I'm sure it is, he's like, you'll be able to write your own ticket to when it's time to come back here and do your own thing. So he said it to me publicly. He said it to me privately. Came on a podcast and said it. Heyman's a wonderful dude. He's always been wonderful to me, and I got nothing but love for that guy.
That's dope.
Well, I guess it wouldn't be fair for me to ask you this question. We gotta trying something new, and it's called split second. You know, just a this or that.
Okay.
And Nation of Domination or Bloodline.
Bloodline.
See, it's not fair. I knew that wasn't fair.
That's fine. Nah, I'll do it.
Dudley's
And I
versus
love my
Legion of
black
Doom.
wrestling, but come on, let's be real.
I just listen. Nation of Domination or no, I already said that. Dudley's versus Legion of Doom.
Dudley's.
Okay. Steiner's or the Hart Foundation.
Ooh, that's tough. I love both of those tag teams.
Ease into it.
I'm gonna give the slightest of edge to the Steiners.
Okay. The Four Horsemen or Evolution.
Evolution, man. The Four Horsemen I got was not the Four Horsemen that y'all grew up with. Like I got the third or fourth edition of the Four Horsemen. With like I didn't get the swagged out NWA version, but Evolution, I was like, oh yeah, that works.
I mean,
I think Evolution low key was better than the Horsemen, regardless. But
Relax, Cass.
so.
Come on.
Am I bugging? All you gotta do is look at the success rate of Evolution and the success rate of the Horsemen. It's really not even a contest.
Well, I think that might depend on the outfit a little
Dave
bit.
Batista woke up one day with Barry Windham's bank account, or whoever one, or not Barry Windham. I'm bugging. If he woke up with Arn Anderson's, whatever. Anyway, Batista,
it's okay. It's okay.
Hunter, Flair.
It's okay.
Like,
I came up.
Those
with
are your
the
top
ones.
10s. Those are your top 10s right there. So I'll give it to you. I know it'd be controversial to pick against the Horsemen, though.
No. I mean, sometimes you got to. You got to. This is my version of the mess. You know what I mean? DMX or NWO? I mean, DX or NWO?
Damn. I'm gonna go NWO.
Hey,
I'm gonna go NWO.
That's wrestling history, bro. That's wrestling history.
The original 6, the original 5 to 6 of the NWO. Once it started becoming like NWO, what's like fucking like Hollywood Hogan's cousin was in the group and shit. Like I was like, all right.
when Dennis Rodman joined.
Not even Dennis was still alright.
That was fire though.
Was still alright, but you know, there was times where like Stevie Ray was in the NWO. I'm like, all right, wait, what are we doing?
Dennis did that, and then when he got 40 rebounds, like we can't be mad at that.
In the finals, by the way, in the finals. Man.
JBL or Ted DiBiase?
I'll tell you something. JBL's low key slept on.
I think so too.
I'm taking JBL over the $1 Million Man.
Okay. Mankind or Dude Love?
Mankind, man.
Okay.
I was never a big Dude Love guy. I'll be honest. Never my cup of tea.
Love. It was so cheesy to me. I just loved that shit.
I like a good amount of cheese, but that was too much. That was too much.
Okay, and Trish Stratus or Stacey Keebler? You know, that's his theory right there.
That's tough milk.
Man.
That's tough.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've seen Trish lately. Like I saw Trish at WrestleMania. I was like, yo.
Still in the fridge.
Still.
It's no expiration date on that.
It's definitely like it takes you back. I got to work with Trish. I guess I'm picking Trish.
Yeah,
but Trish is definitely one of those people that like I fanned out over. I was like, holy shit.
Okay.
I'm doing something with Trish Stratus today. Like
no, that's pretty cool. And the last one would be Lita or Mickey James. Lita or Mickey James.
I'm gonna go Lita. Lita was the flyest.
It's my girl.
Flyest girl out there for a second. She did more for the thon than Cisco, bro. She did more for the thon than Cisco. She sure did.
That is crazy. That's funny, man. Thank you, guys, man. I appreciate you joining us, man. I appreciate your time.
Man. I appreciate y'all having me. This is really fun. I appreciate y'all. So let me know.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Can't wait to see this come out, and good luck with everything. I appreciate you guys.
Hey, bro,
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, y'all. Do I just click out? Are we good? Or do you stay on?
No, you're good.
No,
we're gonna just do our close. But bro, we appreciate everything, man. I know I was hounding you with the DMs, but I just wanted to make sure
Nah,
everything's
man.
cut.
Listen, I completely understand, and you can put this on too. I completely understand, and anytime I could, come on any content creator show, or it's still wild to me that people want to talk to me about anything in my life. So trust me when I say, man, it really is an honor. Any way I can always help young content creator. I came in as a young content creator, right? Like, if it wasn't for my old podcast, Wrestle Rap with Emilio Sparks, I don't think, this kind of kicked off everything, really. So don't stop creating, don't stop potting. Do it as long as it's fun. Once it stops being fun, trust me, it's not gonna be pretty, but always keep it fun. Don't lose the fun. And young Black content creators, man. Anytime I can help out, it really is an honor and a pleasure. So thank you for having me. I really do mean that.
Thank you, seriously.
Yes, sir. We appreciate
All
you.
right, y'all.
Have a good day, man. Thank you.
All right, yo. This is the Youth.
Hello. This is the new podcast. Youth Podcast. Hello. This is the Youth Podcast.